welcome to Pep Talks. It's been a very busy few weeks. I was away in Kenya, came back. The very dawn I came back to Accra, I had to be speaking at about 10, 11 a.m. that morning at an African Young Professionals Conference. That same week, we had the BCA Leadership Made in Africa Conference, and there was a youth rally I was speaking at as well. And then to crown that week, the HUD Group, which is something I founded together with 8 of my friends 20 years ago, celebrated 20 years. 20 years. We did a press launch and a launch of some legacy projects. So it's been very, very busy. Sorry I haven't come to you with any of these pep talks, but you probably have read other things from social media that I've been saying and sharing. One thing that has come through in all the things I've been involved in these last 2 weeks is that leadership is absolutely important. In fact, even this morning I was teaching a client, the executive of a company, of a startup, and I was sharing the law of the lid, that everything rises and falls on leadership, and that leadership is the lid. Is the lid on their personal level of effectiveness as well as the organization's level of impact that it will ever make. And so this thought that leadership is so important that every professional must have it. Everyone in every sector of the economy, every level of society must have it. But especially that leadership is too important to leave it in the hands of politicians alone. Leadership is cause, as one other person says. Everything else is effect. As we celebrate 20 years of the HUD Group, God has done amazing things to the HUD Group. From Ghana, we went to Cote d'Ivoire, then Nigeria, and now we're in 24, 25 countries on all continents as we think about the incredible impact of people on people in every sphere. In fact, last Friday, people like celebrated young award-winning journalist Manasseh shared how the HUD Group has impacted him. Others as well in law, in engineering, name it. But I shared with them one regret. That my one regret is that we did not, in these 20 years, give enough attention to the political space in particular. Of course, not as if we did nothing at all. But knowing what I know now and seeing how all these successes in all these other areas of life have literally been eroded by what has happened in the political space, particularly in Ghana, that really breaks my heart. It has shown us that although we are graduating all these amazing people, and again, I was at Ashesi's wonderful graduation about 3 weeks or so ago, all these young people bustling with energy and vision and drive, having done some incredible capstone projects, all of them. All these amazing people graduated by the HUD Group in the last 20 years, trained and been in all kinds of fellowships and mentorships. All of us, including my good friend Patrick Ewua, who spoke at the HUD Group press launch and legacy projects launch, all of us are restricted by what happens in the political space, because everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is the lid over effectiveness. Political leadership is the lid over all of our effectiveness. And so we've got to get up. We've got to get up and take the political space seriously and not let anyone who is not a leader make their way there. Because then it doesn't matter how the collective brilliance of all of us is, they will be the lid over the rest of us. It's like that illustration, an army of sheep led by a lion, or an army of lions led by a sheep. At the end of the day, every sector, every level of our society needs great leaders.